My friend's got a place on an inlet, so it's 6 miles to go. And then from there, it was
New dates.
about 40, and it was a 2.5-hour boat. Going out.
Okay, we're streaming now, guys.
You gotta go like 50 or 60 miles to get in a
We're not.
Joe, can you hear me okay? Joe. Hello, Joe.
Oh, you can't. No, I don't have the power. It's pretty hard.
Joe, can you hear me now?
Just go like this.
I don't know if this guy's boat or what, but man, I think this is rough.
Okay. Here comes the sound.
Aluminum center console.
I hear somebody breathing.
Heavy blast. The storm's coming through.
Oh, you're really loud, Jeff. Hello?
Can you hear
Is that
me,
you?
Bill?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nothing. You there?
Is your light on?
Yeah.
It was coming through. Nice see.
I'm wondering how much for how many dumpsters?
Well, no. Number
Nothing?
2.
I can hear that. You
Little
can't
bit.
hear?
Hear me now?
I can't really hear you.
Can you hear me, Joe? Hello? No?
I can hear you a little bit.
Well, we
Little bit?
went somewhere here to check lights and run it.
Oh, I think that's better.
Ooh, that's way too loud.
No much.
It's about, and then from the cul-de-sac to the north, of course, it's not, that's what I was told. I don't know. I'm not sure. From the cul-de-sac to there, it's probably.
Number 5.
We have 6 o'clock, gentlemen. Are you ready?
Joe says I'm not loud enough. Number 5, I've got it.
I can't turn you up. It has to be all or nothing.
Okay.
You can hear Ed.
Are you ready? I didn't put it. You ready now, Madam Clerk?
Yep.
Town of Vernon Town Board of Supervisors meeting for August 2nd, 2018, 6 p.m. will come to order. All rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Thomas Byrd.
Present.
Supervisor Jeff Millies. Supervisor Ed Moline.
Present.
Supervisor Bill Craig. DPW Director is here also, Mr. Chairman, and Supervisor Gary Weldy has an excused absence. You do have a quorum of your board present, Mr. Chairman.
Open meetings law compliant.
Mr. Chairman, the agenda was posted inside and outside the Vernon Town Hall to the media, to businesses within the town of Vernon, and as a courtesy to the town of Vernon's website. You're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
Public comments. Are there any public comments?
Yeah.
So come up to the front, please, and state your name and address.
John Miller. My address is South 95 West 23645 Forest Home Avenue, Town of Vernon. I'm here today trying to get cable down to my house so I can have internet at my house. Currently, I have a DSL, which pretty much sucks. It doesn't work at all. So I've reached out to Time Warner several times, and apparently it's at the Gulfview Road intersection and Fox River Woods Drive to the south of my house, but it's not. From Gulfview to the north of Forest Home, there is no wire. And the last conversation I had with them, they wanted $15,000 to put it in. So I would like to see if the board could help me get it put down there. That's really all I have to say.
Pardon?
That's really all I have to say.
Okay.
And they can't respond back to you, John?
Really
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know where, so. Okay.
That's,
We're not being rude. We can't.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I didn't. that's fine.
Because this is your public comments.
Okay.
This is not, it's not an agenda item. It could
Okay.
be anybody talking about anything,
Okay,
and our attorney gets upset if we comment.
okay. Well, good enough. Hopefully you can help me, thanks.
Okay.
My name is Bill Kanish. I'm South 63 West 22575 Town Line Road. I have the same condition. We have, years ago, the condition was you needed 20 homes per mile to put in the cable. We have 0.7 miles. We have 15, which makes us within the criteria. I would like to kind of know why it wasn't in there. We've been fighting for it for 26 years, and it's just out of hand. The kids need it for school, we need it for banking, I need it for business. I mean, everybody here has it, but it seems like there's some dead-end corners and we can't get these cable people to move. And you know, we need the town to at least generate a letter to nudge them off of their center, to get them going, because to pay $12,000, $15,000 to put in a piece of cable that should be, that everybody else got for free is ridiculous. And I was on the agenda for today, but I was evidently bumped off of it. And I guess I'd kind of like to know why. What would it be for the town to put a letter together, talk to the cable people, say, look, start cleaning up around here. There's too many flags, and we're not the only two people here. There's quite a few. I had everyone on the street, all 15 were going to be here in the meeting, and then I found out we were blown off the agenda. So I'm a little irritated with it. I don't know why, but I know everybody here has it. And it's just, they're just sitting on their hands. The town could at least generate a letter to the cable company, tell them to start putting it in, at least.
Any other public comments?
Hi, how are you all doing? Hi, I'm Mark Corbett, live at S99 W237 Gulfview Court,
No,
just on the other side of the city.
W2349.
Yeah, W237. Sorry, I said we lived at the other place. Sorry, I don't mess that up. Anyway, I live right next to John Miller. Yeah, effectively, as I understand it, we do have the cable at the cul-de-sac area. So it's available and it's already capable to be wired to the home and to our areas. But due to whomever developed that area previously, and I don't know that person, but evidently everybody here does and didn't like that person either. And Time Warner is effectively holding the group hostage based on the installation that occurred previously. So I know it's a public comment, you can't, public forum, you can't comment, and that's fine. But what I would like to know, or what I need to find out at some point, is how do we move forward to have the township help us try to get to a point of, as was stated, to a base level relative to everybody else in the area. You know, I lived 1,000 feet away. I lived on the other side, right? And I lived on, you know, you sold me my house. You know, so that place has cable, you know, 1,000 feet from where I live now, and we don't have cable. That seems more than slightly ridiculous. Okay, so the question is, clearly you're being held hostage based on something that occurred 10 years ago with the previous developer, with Time Warner. And what I'm curious about, A, what it would take to be on an agenda to get this pushed forward through with the group. B, I don't feel it's fair for the township residents who, quite honestly, we do pay a tax, right? You know, and that's covering a lot of things in this township, and I agree with that, and I don't have a problem with any of that. But the bigger point of that being is you have a service, a base service that we don't, and a base service that a lot of people have. I'm a businessman, my wife's a professional, you know, I have to do that. I do a lot of with cell now, that's quite expensive, and not really that fair. So at the end of the day, what's it take? You know, I don't know that I'm being out of line. Just asking a basic question, you know, and the answer may be too bad, so sad, but I don't really think so when it's 1,000 feet away. So that's my question. Okay. Thank you very much.
I think John, you're just lawyer. We're so pushing. That's what I think. I want to get in with it. I think we can.
Are there any other public comments? Any other public comments? No other public comments? All right, we'll move on from the agenda. There probably will be a possible closed session, motion to go into closed session.
Thanks, John. Bye, Bill.
Consideration and possible action on a motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin Stat 19.85, Pren 1, Pren 8, deliberation and negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, more specifically negotiating for an intergovernmental contract with the Village of Big Bend for EMS and fire service, and Village of McGuanago border agreement, including the closed session, our town board members and the town clerk. The motion will require a roll call vote. Okay. Item 8, miscellaneous matters. Following matters will be discussed and possible action taken by a town board unless otherwise noted. Item 8, temporary Class B license for the German Shepherd Dog Club of Wisconsin for September 8th and 9th, 2018. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman and town board members, everything that has been in your packet, all the application information has been applied for. There is a licensed bartender that is licensed for this facility. We have never had a problem with this event, and the club has done this event for many, many years and never had any problem at all. And it is my hope that the town board does approve the temporary Class B retail license for the German Shepherd Dog Club.
I'll make a motion to approve the temporary Class B retail license for the German Shepherd Dog Club for the date specified in the application.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
I didn't get a copy, but I don't need one.
It wasn't in your packet?
No.
Did you look on the e-packet?
That's all right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution 2018-8, amended 2018 fee schedule. This here, gentlemen, is for, we changed some things on here. What it is the, moved the asterisks with, it says, all actual professional fees involved by the town must be reimbursed per section 2310 for town of Vernon Municipal Code. So that includes whatever we're working on, whatever we're doing. If we gotta call the attorney, if we gotta call the engineer, we will get reimbursed. And then on, these pages are now, we have zoning for reinspection, and then we have a right-of-way structural permit fee plus professional reimbursements for 200. I think that's all the things that we're going to change on there for the time being. Once we get into budget season, we'll probably have a few more that'll be changed, but like I said, this is a living document. It goes on and on.
I got one question, that, field use, there's a $40 field use, but then there's an all-day field rental, and,
What page are you on?
this is, the next to the last,
Park and Rec?
last page. I have no idea what, if somebody asked me to explain that, I wouldn't know what to tell them on the field use.
If they're just doing a game, it's $40.
Oh,
If they're
one
using
game.
it, yeah, if they're using it for a longer event, it's more
Do we
money.
get people asking to play one game on the field? We do?
Not a lot, but once in a while.
Would you like to see that in like parentheses, one game,
I think it's more like 3 hour time spent or something.
or hours?
Did everybody else know what that was? I don't know what people.
It's really at the discretion of the rec director,
One game?
but that's the minimum charge, because there is cost involved in regards to the upkeep of the field, and
Now we got they can play soccer, they can play baseball, or is this one field where specific?
it doesn't matter the event. It just these
One game.
and these are outside people, not our rec department. but-
Yeah, no, I'd like to see one game on there. I think, I didn't know what it was, and help clarify when you said one game.
Or per event, or
Or,
yeah.
they might come practice, another team may need a practice facility.
Yeah.
You charge it for a practice?
Oh, they rent them.
If they're-
Oh,
if they're not
yeah,
kind of learning team, yeah.
One activity?
yeah. Per event slash
I thought
activity.
we said originally like a 3 hour time slot.
There's a time limit on it?
I thought originally there was.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it all day
all-day-
Saturday.
I'd like something extending that so it's clear, because when I looked at it, I thought, well, we got all day,
You're not going to hold up the
but we got a
resolution
field
for
use
this,
for
are you?
40, which is a lot less than the all day.
And the all day is like they're having a softball tournament or something, they're trying to do a fundraiser at one of the facilities.
Don't you think it could use a little help as far as description?
Well, if we had a big call, I mean, if we could add the words per event or game.
Let it pass. I got one other comment on it then. I'll give you this when I'm done. There's a whole bunch of these where they carry over by blocking out the line, so the wording's all there. There's a whole bunch of them that don't have that. They're all cut off. So I'll give you this and you can see what needs to be changed on them or cut off.
What page you on?
All of them, almost all of them. If you look at it hard, you're gonna see spots where the wording doesn't make sense because it's cut off. Go to the second page, you'd be looking at, sign permit, agricultural building, multifamily condos, zoning review. I mean, it's easier just to give Karen a copy and let her see, because there's quite a few of them on here rather than go through every one of them. Look at the second page if you want. Go down to sign permit on the second page. The description is T equal 32 square feet. Should be feet. It's cut off. Next one, both F and T are cut off, $6 per thousand. So the descriptions are just cut off. There's some of them where it picks it up by getting rid of the line, and there's some of them that don't.
Let's see what you got there. This is what I got.
You have a different copy?
This is the one I got. That's why I'm looking at you like a spaceman, huh?
Well, yeah, yours is missing even more than mine is.
Yeah, but it's got everything that's cut off on yours is on there.
No, it's got a greater than. Let me show you. Just look at this one. Where it says, sign permit. That is greater than 32 square feet. Yours doesn't even have the greater than. Whatever's in front of that, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
Yours starts at 30.
Mine starts at 32 square feet, greater than square feet, $8 per thousand. So I've got this here,
So what's missing on mine? 32 square feet?
this part. And this is foot new $6, and you've got the foot, yeah, yours is missing now.
It is, like I say, everything I
But
circled there.
The rest of you guys got that, or which one do you have?
Yeah, I'm missing like that up for foot and stuff, yeah, it's just,
There's a bunch of things on there that make
Well,
no
it's
sense when
just-
you try to read it.
it's just.
So I
a
thought I'd
line.
just give it to Karen, she can look at it and see what
I'll,
happens.
when you go in closed session, I'll
There's no
redo
problem.
it.
Yeah.
It's just the line, just
Yeah,
block it, pushes off some of it.
it's the way it's formatted.
I can't get to the document now to reformat it, but I'll do it later.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I had a question back on your zoning violations. We have first inspection, no charges, which I think is pretty generous. Then we've got additional re-inspections, $65 for each. And I'm thinking of all the situations we've had in the last year where we're going back. 65 bucks is pretty cheap to send our personnel out there to keep rechecking. I'd like to see that any additional inspections, $150 per, and $150 per day fine for continued violations. Just a lot of nonsense going on. It's like some of these people are just challenging us.
It's Vince's time.
Well, what does Vince, this is what Vince charges?
He's never charged anything.
No, we pay a contract fee, right?
I've never seen any revenue since I've been here for inspections for
For
zoning.
re-inspection?
No, for any.
Isn't that all we pay? We have a contract with them, pay them so much a year, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, this would go to the town.
That's what I mean, we don't pay him extra for anything, right?
Not for any zoning inspections, no.
Something else?
He's our building inspector, and he inspects zoning violations. That's all we pay him for.
And we do that through a contract, is that not correct?
Not the zoning, but the building inspector, yes.
Okay, so zoning is a separate charge then.
No, he doesn't collect anything for zoning.
I give up.
He does that, he doesn't charge anything, he doesn't collect anything.
I think that's what I said. We only pay him what's on the contract. We don't pay him for any extra services.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're agreeing on.
Well, it says, the attorney says, keep in mind that fees cannot exceed the cost to the town to process the fee. Okay, if requested, the town needs to be able to justify the fee charge. Can we justify that?
Well, every time somebody calls Karen's got to get a hold of Vince, get him set up out there.
Maybe you should talk about it at staff, when he can respond to what he does, how many times he goes there. It's hard to say with him not being here. I have no idea what he does.
Yeah, I think we approve it, what we have right now, we talk about it at staff, if we need to change numbers at that time with business president.
Like Tom said,
Modify.
it's living, we can do it.
We can change it every
Yeah.
month if we need to.
We can just add.
So I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2018-08, amend the 2018 fee schedule.
I'll second it with a comment, we'd like that on the staff agenda.
Is that part of the, is that a second, or I don't?
I second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of ACH monthly payroll transaction. Madam Clerk.
I added this to the approved payroll ACH, monthly ACH deductions. This is what was added is the ACH deductions for the HSA request for individuals that have the high deductible. That has to be done by ACH as stated on the chart.
Okay, so this is an addition to?
That's what it says, and it's got a new date, and it's got an asterisk on it. And on the agenda, it specifically says for...
Health savings account?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason we need that is?
Per your resolution, that there's any, if there's any change in the original list, all changes must come before the town board.
And the reason it needs to be changed is?
Because it has to be taken out of their check, like deferred comp, like all the other payroll deductions. That's how it has to be taken out of their check.
Okay.
That's the only way I can pay it.
Okay. Any comments or motion?
No, she mentioned this before, so
Yeah.
kind of clear.
I just wanted to explain a little bit further so the people out there know.
Sure.
I mean, we all know, but... Sorry, I'm running you through the hoops.
Oh, that's not, I was just putting it on the other thing on the staff agenda, and I just wanted to make sure I had it in the previous. I'm working on this, but I'm working what you said before.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept the ACH monthly transaction changes for the sheet.
I'll second it. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Advanced disposal proposal for brush drop-off. Last, we were talking and we wanted to, because the brush pickup is getting so costly, and we've got a proposal. Are there any comments on it? We've got brush pickup in the budget for October. Yeah.
This is, I think, the second offer here is phenomenal. You're gonna put a truck here and a worker to do the collection for 3 hours, 4 hours a day, whatever that was, 3 hours I think, for $500 a week. Considering that we were spending back in 2017 $66,441, we do a lot of sitting here and waiting for that kind of money.
Yeah, but
You're gonna lose the shredding, you're gonna lose the chips, let them go buy them.
But you can't look at that number as a whole. We're not, the DPW is not gonna be working those 2 weeks. They're gonna do another project around town. You're still gonna have the labor
Still paying the
expenses.
labor rate, correct.
All we're really saving on probably is the grinder.
The
Fuel,
rental, which is
fuel and the
$2,000,
chipper, yes.
Fuel,
That's mainly what we're saving, because the DPW will still be working, just doing other things.
Right. And using fuel for other things also. So the chipper's what, $2,300 per event. So say,
Yeah.
part of this you were using
$600.
$900, and well, call it $1,900 in gas. And then the chipper, we were running for what, 40, 26, 25, and 24.50 for spring and fall. And backhoe with grapple. Oh, that was just for pickup. Okay. So we're looking somewhere around 8, 18, around 10 grand.
But
chipper and your fuel.
But like you say, if we're running that equipment doing other things, that equipment is still being used.
Yeah, but we're doing other things that are
Right.
for our roads,
Well, right.
for.
Yeah, we're not burning fuel for brush pickup.
Correct.
But we're
And
still
that's-
burning fuel for,
Well, yeah, but it's not associated with brush pickup.
We could be doing more
So that's
crack
a
filling.
savings for brush pickup.
well, it's a savings of brush pickup, but then an expense on DPW, whatever else they're working on. So it's gonna offset each other. The only true savings is the cost of the brush chip that we don't have.
If we're crack filling, now I'm buying more materials for crack filling. I mean, you're looking at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm doing one thing, I'm crack filling now, I need more crack fill material, which is gonna cost.
Yeah, but
So-
it's saving more roads.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I like option one better. to
I'd
try.
rather have them working on stuff for the town than picking up brush
Yeah.
and doing the rest.
I'd rather
Patching
doing-
roads, things like that.
Doing the option one and just seeing how much material we could get versus committing to a $500 weekend, and nobody showing up.
Well, basically, when it's full, it's full. You come back next week.
No, but you, it's gonna cost you the guy here for $500 for that Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Or if you just had the option one, just have the dumpster here, and then when it gets, they come whenever, and when it's full, it's full. It's $200 per haul and $25 per ton. Any idea how many tons would fit in a 30-yard?
It varies, I mean, that brush is so, it could
Yeah.
be fluffy or could be big stuff, I mean, it's really,
Well, you could probably go
Quite a
with
bit.
tobacco too and
Yeah, we
smash
can-
it down when it starts getting full and get more in.
I know that's what the town of Waukesha does, he packs it in there pretty good, so. And quite honestly, I think might be sitting here for 2, 3, 4 weeks at some points, not being full, where you're not paying that $500 per week event or fee.
One-time morning event.
Right.
Yeah, but people find out it's here, you're gonna get everybody in the surrounding area using it too.
Well, yeah.
We lost our oil pickup in McGonigal because we had people from all over the place dumping things in here, throwing cans in and all that, and they shut it down. So I kind of like the idea of having somebody here watching and making sure it's residents using. If you're going to pay for resident money, taxes, I think we want to know it's residents using it.
You know, I could see still doing brush pickup in the spring for everybody, and then eliminating the fall brush pickup, and maybe have this 30-yard dumpster sitting here in the parking lot or wherever for a month, and in the fall, and see how that goes, and, you know, offer 2019.
So in the spring, they get the chips that way, right?
And that's when people really want them, quite honestly.
That's where the majority of your work seems to
Right,
take
right.
place because
And
of
I think it'll be
chips.
less, you're getting less amount in the fall anyhow.
Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to try that, something like that. You know, so you would eliminate 2.5 weeks worth of work for rush,
Volume,
for us.
yeah.
So that would give us more time, like you say, for road work.
Oh, we had talked about too, about, just, trying to squeeze brush pickup right in the spring when they leaf out, let the stuff leaf out and give people a chance. This year we backed it off a couple of weeks because of the rain.
The
Yeah,
weather,
we
yeah.
lost
And I got some calls from people that said, thanks for doing that, you know, because they couldn't get out there and get their stuff, you know, cut out and stuff.
Well, maybe we should move that permanently.
Well,
Yeah.
he's always running into where the
Yeah.
crack filling.
Crack fill,
you
yeah,
gotta crack
I forgot
fill
about
till it starts getting warmer and the roads warm up, and then you might as well have
It's
crack
time to
fill
do it,
because
yeah.
all the pavement starts expanding.
Right.
So we may talk about maybe pushing it back a couple weeks.
Well,
It got pretty late this year, I think, but if you go back a week, I think that would be more than,
how about we leave it up to John to notify him when it's best convenient for you,
Yeah.
because you're the crew that's gotta do it.
And we'll, you know, these,
Yeah.
does it say in
Interesting
here
numbers.
how these numbers, how long these numbers are good for?
Yeah. No,
Because we've got, you know, in the budget cycle, we can talk about this
yeah, I don't,
and see what we
See
want to do, give us a
anything
little more time to think about it and do whatever. I just don't want to jam this down everybody's gullet, you know? We gotta think about it and see what's good for the town. Because, you know, in the back of my mind, I've got 5 ash trees that I gotta take out. And,
Look,
you
you
know,
only have 5.
they're nice trees, you know, they're 14, 16 inches around,
Yeah.
you know, 30, 35 feet high. They're all, they're ugly, so they gotta come down. So,
But that's too big anyway. You just knock the branches off those, right?
well, I just burn it all anyways. But
Yeah, me too.
what I'm trying to say is that that's
Spring.
all over the whole town, and people are in the spring are gonna be looking at
Yeah.
that situation, you know. I think the spring is more important, and it's
Oh, yeah.
only gonna get more.
I'd go for spring myself rather than fall.
It's only gonna get more with that ash.
Yeah.
Can we find out, John, what town of Waukesha is actually paying with their system? Don't they
Yeah,
even have advanced?
Yeah, I think it's similar. Those
But we-
prices are similar to what they offered the town of Waukesha.
They are.
Yep.
So they could tell us population's very close, square mileage close. They could give us a good idea what their cost is.
How long does it take to fill up and how many tons there are?
well, I know when I talked to Jerry over there, he said that he would come in after a weekend and the parking lot would be full. So he would spend a half a day taking that and putting it into the dumpster with the backhoe. You know, so he had time invested also. But the way they have it set up, I think they just dump it off onto the side. They have like a little parking lot area, and he would put it into the dumpster. So.
But do we want them dumping it something? I don't think,
Well,
we
and
want them going in the dumpster right away.
Well, I would rather have it that way, but the problem I have with that is now you don't know what they're throwing in that dumpster.
Mhm.
And I don't know if they're taking the stuff and recycling it, chipping it or whatnot, and you find concrete chunks or whatever in there. Where it goes after it leaves here, I don't know what they do with it, you know, so that might be an issue. That's the only thing I have a problem with people dumping it, is you can't monitor what they're putting in there. And you will find furniture in there or something else at some point, I can guarantee you, so.
We've got a camera system now, so if we need to put a camera out there to monitor one, and all of a sudden somebody's couch shows up, we'll be able to pretty much tell who's doing it.
$100, big sign, $100 fine for anybody.
Back behind the
dumping
fence where they can only dump during town
Business
hours.
hours.
That's what I would recommend, to keep it that way, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it's just not out free for all for dumping, just have it
Yeah.
town hours and then flagged up.
And like I said, we got the security cameras now,
Yeah.
so
it's-
we can be able to tell them, and, hey, come and pick up your couch you threw in the dumpster, or you're gonna get a fine.
Put a sign right on the pickup point.
Well, we can,
You know, no one else coming in at night and saying, let's light the dumpster on fire with all the brush either, so it's.
Yeah,
John, let me ask, what's your preference then? Spring we talked about, everybody seems to be, that works for you?
we continue the spring,
Yeah.
and then maybe try this in fall,
Right.
I mean, like, so we can,
Dumpsters in the fall?
yeah, I'd be willing to give it a
How
try.
many- They just leave here, then we don't worry about how many weeks it's taken or anything, they just sit here. We call when they're full and we pay for whatever gets dumped, right? That's a very simple system compared to the other one where we're trying to figure out how many weeks we need them here, and, yeah.
You know, I would say maybe have it available just for the whole month of October or something, that works a continuous.
Yeah,
That would be probably a really good idea, right?
Get your
Maybe
fall.
even, yeah, maybe 2 months.
September and October, yeah.
October, September, yeah, both, maybe 2 months even, that would be,
People are getting their yard work done at the end of the year.
A lot of-
no place to dump
give
it.
it 2 months, what the heck, yeah.
you know,
Still
yeah,
gonna cost
I'm
less.
thinking about the elderly people now. What if you've got an older fella or a man or a woman that have a trailer, they can get it in, but they can't get it up into a 20-yard dumpster, but they
Well,
can get it off.
He didn't want to put it in the dumpster.
Can we
anyway.
make a pile,
Well, they
and
can.
then can we load it?
well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, it'd make it easier for the people to, you know, if they gotta just put it in a pile, well, so be it, you know?
Well, it sounded like John didn't
Cut it
want,
slow if they can lift it.
Yeah,
Tom, it sounded like John didn't want anybody putting it in because
well,
they buried garbage below
that's what I'm
they put in.
saying. It's a catch-22, you know, what do you do?
Well, you said you'd rather put it in, if they dumped it on the sides,
I'd rather have them put it in, and we don't have to mess with it, but if that's what the case is with the loader, it wouldn't take
Yeah.
a long time to do that with the forks or whatnot.
We could work that out.
We could-
Once you decide which way.
That would not be,
work
it
that out.
would,
I'm just
be.
saying, I don't want somebody to say, well, I can't get it in a dumpster, I can't move
Yeah.
it, you know, this and that, you know.
Well, it's during work hours.
Yeah.
We normally have somebody that here would, might be able to get me.
Yeah.
We'll have to work that out, okay.
Something to think about, yeah.
So we're not gonna do anything with that, we'll just table that?
When are we gonna finalize that one? Any idea you wanna do it the next meeting, give it some thought, or how far down the road?
Well,
We're gonna have to do it before the budget meeting, so, well, no, we're not. We're gonna have to do it during the budget meeting, so we get something put in and figure out what we're
The
doing,
biggest
right?
issue is the newsletter.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
The biggest issue is the newsletter. We have to let the public know if you are or are not gonna do fall pickup. Because
That's
we've
December
had,
yet?
I've had 3 people already this week asking to drop off stuff, and I said, we don't
we've
accept
already
it.
got that figured in the budget for that fall pickup.
Yeah, I'm thinking
This
this is
year.
for, this is
I'm,
for next
I'm
year.
thinking this is for next year. That's why I asked the
Oh,
question.
yeah, I
Of
wasn't,
what,
me too. I wasn't thinking about this year.
yeah.
I'm
If-
thinking about 2019's budget.
If
Yeah.
you, if you guys don't mind, there's a couple other things I'd like to check in, so that we could put this on staff also, to see if we get more information.
Sure.
We can do that.
Should I do that?
This table will move it to staff.
30th. Just gotta find that agenda.
Okay. And then we got, the next one here is continue with the fall brush pickup. I put that on there because if we were gonna go for this, I asked the question, we're still going to continue fall pickup, correct?
This year?
Everybody's, this year, in regards to the budget, I just wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page with that. Right,
Well,
John?
like you said, it's budgeted for, no reason to rock the boat at this time.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a motion to, continue fall pickup.
I'll make a motion to continue the fall pickup, for this year.
I'll second it.
Oh, come on now, who did?
Ed made the motion, I seconded it. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, response to the Department of Administration regarding annexation of 11-acre parcel on Vernon Hills Drive. All right. This, Madam Clerk has given this some thought, and she's really dug into this. So you want to explain where that right-of-way is for that?
No, you don't want to do any of that publicly.
No.
What you want to discuss, if you can see the information, you saw my letter in the packet, and then Chairman Byrd asked Attorney Macy to look at it for his comments. And then I also wanted to put in the packet, you saw my comments, it's the form letter that's submitted to the DOA. I wanted you to see, normally because of timing, the clerk doesn't get to share this information with the board because of the timing of when an annexation comes to us, and so that was the issue. Is you saw my written response to the DOA, you saw my original letter, and then you saw the letter tweaked a little bit by the town attorney. So Chairman Byrd would like to know what letter you like. I mean, I have to respond, and for the DOA, what I like to do is once I have all my information finalized, instead of mailing it, I always email it to Eric, so it's instantaneously, and the file is all a digital file. But just wanted you to look at the 2 different letters and get your thoughts on the letter. Which letter do you like more? Do you want one part of the letter in another? Is John Macy? John tried to capture everything that I put in my letter. He didn't put as much detail in regards to how the town board did not see the annexation of the freeway, which I think is very important. And I did emphasize that on the last annexation to the DOA, that the town board never, as a board, never saw that annexation.
Did we ever hear why they want to annex? What their
No.
goal is or anything?
Some of the neighbors have had discussion with the people that are annexing, but I've never I haven't had time to speak to them.
I just wonder what their reasoning was why they're.
Well, the way it looks, if you look where Vernon Hills Road or Drive ends now, I don't see how they're gonna get to their parcel without getting an easement from .064.
It's landlocked, right?
Yeah, that's the way it looks. So I think they have to tell us first of all how they're gonna get to the property.
It's more though, that's a different, well,
I'm confused because I keep seeing it as a landlocked parcel, and I keep hearing about the expressway giving them, making it contiguous. It has to touch it, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah, but that's, what we're talking about here is
I'm not seeing it.
what we're sending to the DOA. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about landlocked, we're not talking about what gives them the right, we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about
The two
what
letters.
we're sending.
But are we talking about what we're gonna have in the letter as far as objections?
Yeah.
Reasons for objection.
I think it sets a horrible precedent for the future for one thing. I mean, this whole thing was hodgepodge the way they annexed that right away in the first.
And that is in the letter. If you read the letter, it does say the only access to the village of Big Bend is the freeway. It says that, and one of my exhibits, it shows the access to the village, which there is no exit ramp from the freeway to this parcel.
That's what I was saying. The freeway runs by it, but they are not, they can't access it. There's no ramp on or off to the parcel. How do they give them access? Just by touching it?
It's the village.
I don't know.
Yeah, balloon on a string.
Wow. I go with John put in his letter, basically, and the fact, how much weight do you think it holds that we never knew about that annexation to start with?
I emphasized it in the previous annexation.
Karen's letter has more detail than John's.
Yeah.
I think that's, I know Chairman Byrd and Supervisor Craig were supervisors at the time, and when they told me they weren't even made aware of it as a board,
Yeah.
there's probably nothing can be done, but I think that's very substantial that an annexation occurred without a board.
Knowledge.
Right.
Well, I think it's important to be in there. I'm not sure, other than what John kept reiterating in his letter, you can put in there that's going to be, can be used as an objection for the annexation, I guess.
They had it on their agenda tonight and they pulled it off.
I know. Some of their people were not appraised of that either. Town board, village board, they didn't know it was being annexed either.
I could do a combination of both letters, because I think John makes some good points in his.
Sure. Can we share that as a whole letter?
What's that?
As an attachment? John's is an attachment?
Oh, I am going, I always, whenever
Oh,
I
okay. I
respond,
didn't
oh
know.
yeah. If you read it says, please read the important information attached.
Okay.
And what I do
I
is,
thought that was just for us. I didn't.
oh, no, it says it right on the DOA form,
Okay.
because I think that's very important, because you can't understand an annexation without having the history
History,
and,
yeah, right. I said the whole thing.
yeah, that I will, and all the exhibits.
Yeah. I think it's important.
So combine them, Mr. Chairman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the date is,
It has to be submitted by August 8th. But the sooner you get your information letter into the DOA, the much more happier you make
Responsive,
them.
yeah.
So what do you wanna do, Donna?
What's the fee?
Nothing.
Oh.
There is no fee.
All right. Yeah,
I say,
Aaron's covered everything I could think of.
add some of John's points to your combined two letters. And
Okay.
Send it off.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Wow, you guys are fast.
Is that easy?
That's good.
Any more discussion? Anybody want to put anything else in there, Bill?
I'm good with it.
You good with that? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At the request of Supervisor number 1, a motion to reconsider the motion of July 5th, 2018 to remove entrance lights, poles in Gerhardt and Town Line Road.
So you need a motion made to reconsider that, Karen?
Or explain to the board why you'd like them to consider.
Basically, I'm just want to reconsider a possible additional option to the problem. I'm afraid that we go through this whole process, the lights are going to be pretty much back to where they are, and so I feel like why don't we?
Why do you think that?
Well, because we kind of set precedence by allowing other lights in the town's right away. How can you not allow?
But you said we'll be right back where we are.
Well, I'm thinking, we take down the lights,
Yeah.
get the permits, meet all the requirements, and the lights will be back up in about the same location.
No, I wouldn't accept them back in the same location. I don't know about you. The engineer, we paid for an engineering review that said they could move back onto their own property. Why would we want them back in the right of way?
Well,
Did you miss that?
no, but we set precedence by allowing those lights in other subdivisions right away.
Doesn't mean we have to in this case. They broke our codes and
They
just
broke.
went wild on it.
But I'm just saying should consider another option of, still meet all the requirements of our ordinance, still get the permits, meet all the requirements. I'm not trying to get out into that process.
Yeah.
But just say, okay, let's possibly double the permitting costs and issue a fine on top of it. And this way the town's collecting money. I think it's a viable option if we determine long range what's going to really change. Is it going to end up looking like it is right now? And
Jeff,
if it is, why don't we capitalize on it?
Where are these other right-of-ways we've allowed them?
Well, Hidden Lakes has lights in the right of way that we're even paying for. The meter that.
Yeah, of course, that goes
There was a
back
kid
how many
years ago.
I know, but we
70s.
kind of, how can we say we allow one subdivision to do it and not another?
Well, for one thing, I think it's been shown here that someone did not even try to find out what the ordinance said, number one. Number two, even verbally, no one asked any questions. Number three, party two comes along and does the same thing next year. To me, I don't care about the fine or the money. This is a principle type issue.
No, I don't disagree that what they did was wrong, but at the same time, the outcome of the situation, is it going to be about the same as it currently is? And if it is, why don't we take the opportunity to capitalize on it and get some money for the town?
I think the best solution is to move the lights to private property, get the candle power they need if they're afraid that there isn't going to be enough light, and then they're on their own property, they select their own light style. The next thing we'll hear is the town's going to have to coordinate one set of lights with another. Who's going to pick that? They've got enough land near that entryway, they can put lights pretty much wherever they want them there and get the candle power up to provide the light they're looking for.
Tom mentioned to me in a phone conversation that he made the drive and there was some obstruction on the sign from the light at night, correct? I don't want to put words in your mouth. You want to explain?
Going to the south when you turn off of town line. But when you go down and you come back around and you head north, that street light is right in that stop sign. The road curves and that street light is right dead center of that stop sign till you get about 75 feet away from that stop sign.
That was my plan.
So that one's it's got to be moved anyways. And I was kind of, if you've seen in your mailboxes here, I had one of the assistant clerks, or Karen had I asked Karen to do it, and Karen had one of the assistant clerks to do it. When the lady sat here and she said that there were 75 kids at the bus stop, I thought that was an awful lot.
For one bus.
Yeah. And what I found out, that the buses do go into that subdivision and pick up. Okay. And that this is according to Delsman Transportation. 2 buses enter the subdivision on Gerhard Drive, and there are 16 listed students who are scheduled to be picked up and dropped off on the corner of Town Line and Gerhard. But it is generally established that 10 to 11 routinely are at the corner, since juniors and seniors often drive to school. So there's 10 students on that corner. To me, we've been played by these people, and played and played and played. And we've taken enough time. It's one thing to tell, but to give misinformation on an issue that it's one of my pet peeves. I don't like it. They were playing us. As far as I can see, those lights could get moved back to those split rail fenced area. They'd be on their own property, and that would be the end of the project. They keep their lights, they can do whatever they want with them, and it's a done deal.
What was somewhat bothersome to me is when the 2 ladies came in after the first meeting when we told them that things had to change. We weren't going to accept it because we didn't want to set the precedent. Neither one of them had read our ordinance at that point in time. So they came in asking for something that had already been decided on. I had sent an email prior to that saying, if you're going to come, I'd like to know that you have something new to present, because we've already discussed the issue. What else are we going to talk about? They came with nothing new. We gave them a copy of the ordinance to read. Haven't heard a word from them since, have we?
They've called.
Anything else?
They called asking, if Wisconsin Electric has applied. They're just asking internally.
Checking on the follow-up now based on following the ordinance. That they're applying to get the lights removed, and then we'll apply to put the lights back up, I assume?
I think I can't speak for them, but I'm assuming this was a big learning experience for them, because from what I gathered, they thought everything was done in accordance.
Oh yeah, they said that.
The other sad thing about all this, we wouldn't even have known they were up if we didn't get the thank you letter.
That's my fault?
We'll have a public hanging later, but let's decide on what we're doing here.
I'm looking at it, the residents thought they were doing the right thing. They didn't realize they were in violation. I just hate to see go through taking them down, all of a sudden they're back, similar location, go through all that work, and what did the town get out of it via the permit?
Well, once again, I'm not going to vote to put it back in the same location.
Well,
similar, yeah.
And I think you ought to remove the ones out of Hidden Lakes then too. And any other subdivision.
Why would you?
in the right of way. How can you allow it for that subdivision?
We didn't do that.
Because they had a permit when they put them in. They did it all legally. This clown came in and just did it on their own without talking to anybody. Well,
Well,
that's the power company, and it's their responsibility to fix it. I don't have a problem. Fix the problem. And we gave them the solution, move them back. We even paid the engineering to get the solution. That's out of our pocket, which really we shouldn't have had to spend a dime on this.
I remember at that first meeting, I said I'd be fine with taking them down and we should put them back up. I never remember saying I'd put them back up, different location.
Well, that's because after the engineering review, we found out they could put them in a different location. They said that this had to be here because it was the only place where the light was sufficient to protect the kids and all that. Well, that was baloney too. You know, they fed us a couple lines, Jeff, that kind of upset me.
Here, take the other approach once. Say you move the lights away from where they currently are. And there is an accident, some kid does get hurt. The driver says, I just didn't see him, it was dark, I don't know where it came from. All of a sudden the residents come back and say, hey, they blame the town, they made us move the lights where this is where it was based on optimum efficiency. You know, we may not be at blame, but we're going to be dragged into a court case and expense. And then they're going to say, how can you allow them at Hidden Lakes in the right of way? Just because they got the permit first?
Because they did it the right way, yes.
Okay, but we're penalizing them for doing it the wrong way, but still allowing it.
And we're telling them that we have a solution for them that is agreeable to the town.
So, and I don't think that's...
Well, you and I disagree on it, I guess, so maybe you should make a motion, we'll see where it goes, I don't know. Really, I
would just like to see a second option available to them. We can issue a fine and penalties and increase permit costs. I hate to pass up opportunity to...
Well, I haven't seen anybody try to work with us on this yet. I mean, all I see is people being obstinate about what's going on.
Well,
And
the last meeting we gave them what they needed as far as part of the orders, what they had to come up with for the permit. Now, I'm not saying they still need to do that. That needs to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when Vince goes out and, you know, finds a building inspection that someone built a deck or something without a permit, you know, we don't make them rip it down completely. You know, Vince will, what's it called, double fines and meet the standards.
Well, if they built it on somebody else's property, it would.
Yeah, if they built it on our property, we'd probably tell them to remove it. It's kind of a different situation because it is in our right of way with no authorization, and it's the town's property, you know. We're trying to protect the town's property and not set a precedent that could be damaging to the town later on.
No, but you're saying though too, if they would have came first and got the permit, you would allow the lights in the right of way.
I didn't say that. Probably would have.
Probably would.
But that's, you know,
So,
the supposition is easy because there's no facts to back it up. Let's just go with what we got. They did it wrong.
correct, I'm not arguing that point at all. And as far as the residents knew, they thought they were doing the right thing. It was we energies who screwed
I
it
don't
up.
blame the residents at all for the first round. Second round, yeah. Because I asked them not to come through without new questions or some ideas. They didn't show up with anything new. Didn't even read the ordinance to find out what's
So
going on.
they're the ones that mentioned the possibility of a fine and penalty. And that got me thinking about it after that night.
I was kind of upset that they didn't do what I asked them to do, and I don't think they did it, so.
I just hate to spice up my, money for the town. You know,
I'm not
because I
looking for the
feel
money,
like,
I'm
you know,
looking to teach the electric company that, you know, let's follow the rules like everybody else does. Why are you
You
special?
know, they're not gonna have to pay anything, the electric company's gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
It's their contractor, they didn't get so what, it's the bump on the electric company, it's not their nickel, it's the electric company, it's their contractor.
As we get burned in
It's-
blackouts.
I have a question, can we even act on letter G? Because this has already been voted on.
G's
But we need
on,
another-
G's on there only because he's requesting to reconsider a motion. If the board-
If somebody makes a motion, we gotta vote on it. So, are you calling a question? But there is no question yet.
Somebody's got to make a
So, does
motion.
somebody wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
To reconsider the motion of July 5th, 2018.
Correct.
Is there a second? Is there a second? more time, I'll ask, is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
You guys are tough.
Okay, so if that one dies,
You don't need H.
then we don't need H. I put H on there in case something happened on it, so we could act on it again, because I'm tired of beating this dead horse.
Well, we'll be back when the permits are all in place.
Okay.
Try.
I,
Blaine?
2019 budget workshop.
Mr. Chairman, you always keep this on there because it's that time of the year, and I did want to tell the board that if they did, I know Supervisor Bill Craig is going to be coming back on the 20th. If you wanted to have a meeting sometime that week before the 28th, when you scheduled me, I could put Doug on the 28th and I could go before him, only if you want to.
Are you talking September?
August.
When is that scheduled already?
No, we have it the 28th, but I just wanted to let you know if you wanted to meet on the 21st.
Oh.
I could do that, but you don't have to. Since it's on the agenda, I just wanted to ask. If you don't want to, that's fine. We can start with me on the 28th, and then, the fire or DPW or however you guys.
I think all of those people were going on vacations and whatever, and the 28th was the only place we could shoehorn in to at least get a start on that, I thought.
We are having the one on the 21st, right?
No, we have one scheduled for the 28th, but
28th.
I could go on the 21st. If
I
you
put that on my calendar, Ronan. I have
no
the 21st
no
wall.
you were asking about it, and I told you I was going to ask the board.
I was
And
jumping
the one
ahead
on
to be
the
prepared.
Tuesday the 28th is at 1 p.m.
Yeah. And I could do Tuesday the 21st if you want to get a little jump, but it's up to you.
Can you be ready by then?
The 28th.
28th, yes.
28th?
28th, yes.
Well, why don't we plan on doing John, I'm sorry, I called you Doug, didn't I?
No, he said,
Oh,
I always call him Doug, and he calls me Sally.
that's what I'm, Doug. Oh, it sounded-
John, I'm sorry. I usually call him Kubota, but
Okay. Well, why don't we just leave it the 28th then, and you be ready.
I'm already
You
ready.
can go first, and then, how long will yours take?
Mine will take I have the longest overall budget.
Figure an hour?
15 minutes.
If you want to go line by line, but I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know.
So-
Hour would be tops.
Say 1:30, 1:30-ish?
For,
You want to do us
Or-
both on the 28th?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do both on the 28th.
John will take longer. He's got roads and.
Yeah, he'll be more.
Yeah, okay, we'll both do the 28th. Then take that off, Eddie. The 21st is off.
Okay. 28th is on at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you gonna let the finance committee?
Yes.
know that?
Yep.
Okay.
The Indians thank you.
What's that?
The Indians thank you.
Oh.
Okay. Any other comments on budget workshops? No? Okay. Correspondence? And
Mr. Chairman, did you want the fire department and the rec department the following Tuesday?
we'll do like we did last year. We'll talk about that on the agenda for that budget.
Yeah, I
committee
just want
meeting.
them to be
We'll put that as an
ready.
agenda item, so tell them that they're gonna be up next.
No, but my question is, I'd like to get an email to them. I sent them all their budget stuff, but they need to know when they need to be ready by.
Tell them soon.
Yeah, tell them the following Tuesday, give them a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Give them a date, don't say soon.
I'll give a date.
sooner than later.
Yeah, get a date, Karen.
Okay.
All right, correspondence, I have none. Or announcements, I have none.
I have none also.
Eddie?
I got a call from Josh. This is a fellow that sat here and did the discussion regarding the driveway that comes out on the Maple. And he was talking for the two people that were here that night. Apparently he's found a document. He says that shows that we own that cemetery, Vernon. I told him to talk to Karen, provide the documents to show that, because we can't go by hearsay on that. And then he should talk about coming in and discussing it, but, I told him I don't know if that's gonna change anything as far as allowing someone to put the driveway through the town's right of way. So, you may hear from him again. And Karen, I know we were throwing a lot of stuff at you. Did you get, Bill's request for the, fee schedule change on the, meeting for the staff on 28th? Not the staff meeting?
I do have that, and I put it.
Thanks, I just wanted to
yes.
remind you in case.
Yep, I've got it already in there,
We're
sir.
good. Thank you. That's it.
Bill?
No, nothing.
John?
I just got my report if you would like.
Yeah, let's do your report.
Just one thing I'd like to add is with that staff meeting, I'd like to add on that discussion about the crowbar right of way with the Muskego border. If we could just add that as staff.
I think I do
For
have
staff?
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna have to kind of come up with an idea what we want to do with them. As far as my report here, we're all done paving on Artesian Avenue. Everything went pretty well there. They ended up screwing up on the first layer of the basically the ingredients of what they put in the binder. We got the better stuff that we weren't bid for, spec'd out for.
Yay!
So it's $2 a ton in our favor. Basically, it cost. We got the better quality material there. Somewhere they screwed up at the plant, I guess. So, which was good news for us. But so we're gonna kind of let that harden up a little bit before we go ahead and shoulder that, because once we start running that grader along with the shoulder, it's a little soft yet. So it's nice to get a couple cool nights and maybe a little bit of rain on that and really stiffen it up. We're just basically continuing with ditch projects on Maple Avenue. We got a couple. Big Bend Road, we're going to be ditching down by the cemetery where we had that problem there last year. We're going to try and get that taken care of this coming week. I'm waiting for the pipeliner for that Oakdale culvert issue. I contacted Kevin Kinky from the DOT as far as the permits for the Mardith project, and I asked them for a letter stating that we were not required for a permit for this. But he's on vacation till the 7th of August, so no response from him. We got the phase 3 replaced at the shop this week. They came in, they bored a new line over, and from We Energies took care of that. That's no cost to us. And I had the VAC septic pumped out today. And I talked to Vince if there's anything else we're going to need to do with that. And he says, nope, as long as I have something stating it was pumped out, once we get ready to fill it in or do what we want to do with it, we'll be okay with that. So, but
Do you know where we're at with that? Is it cleared out?
oh, that was the other thing. Yes, in the town, the
Rec director?
park kids were there the last 2 days with Mike, going through what he's saving, and they've been moving everything, all his equipment and everything out that he's keeping. So there's just a few things in there that we're going to take out some shelving and stuff and move the shelving up there for him. But for the most part, what he needs to get out of there is out of there. So yeah, we're doing pretty good on that. That's all I got.
That ditch work on Meredith, when is that scheduled for?
I just told Dave we're gonna have to. He just hotlined 2 other projects for next week. I told him I want to get going on that by the middle of August.
There was that one gas valve in the ditch park there.
Yeah, we'll
Just
be
a
contending with that.
reminder for that.
Yeah.
Whatever we gotta do.
Yeah, we'll have it all hotlined before,
Yeah.
prior to anyhow again, so that won't be a problem.
Okay.
It might be an issue as far as
And the culverts, where we got the culverts?
I can order them. I can have them there in a day or 2. That's not a big deal. I usually wait so they're not sitting there for too long.
Do we get decision letters on the driveways as far as who they want doing that? Are we clear with all that stuff now?
I haven't heard from the person to the north even at all, quite honestly. And Mr. Wolf, no, he never.
Maybe we need to send a
Verified.
letter explaining that if it's not, if we haven't heard by this date, we're gonna assume it's our job and you will be
Well,
charged.
do you have a hard date on when you wanna start?
Yeah.
I'll come up with something tomorrow. I'll talk to Dave and
Come
find
with
out.
something tomorrow.
How long?
Madam Clerk, can you get a letter out to the residents?
Right.
Tell them when we're gonna start, and that, if we don't hear from anybody, we're gonna take care of the culverts, and
They will be built.
they will be built. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else, John?
No, that's it.
Madam
Thanks for
Clerk?
that, I'm sorry I forgot it last time, I had too much going on.
Did you?
I did get care given to
Okay.
me, thank you.
Oh, the roads? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks,
the
Doug.
road
Thanks,
priority.
Doug, John. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to state that absentee voting will continue tomorrow and all of next week. All clerks in the state of Wisconsin will be open this next Friday till 5 o'clock, so that's when absentee voting for the partisan election will end. And we do have the sample ballots posted on our website and at the town, because this is a very difficult election for a lot of people. It's sometimes rather confusing if you don't stay within the party, but just want to remind people that they can absentee vote tomorrow, all next week until Friday at 5 o'clock of next week. And the election is August 14th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Question, did you see in the Towns Association book about 3 free voting booths, portable voting booths that were available? I don't know if they fit our application, but
No, this facility is almost too small. I mean, I got more voting booths than I have room to put.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we rented those, paid for them, but I saw that.
We own ours.
We own ours, yeah, so we don't worry about it.
That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Finance. Accounts payable dated August 2nd. We have a new one here, Madam Clerk?
Yes, because we corrected that one plumbing bill. The tax was taken off and all the finance fees were taken off.
Okay. We did have a judgment in our favor for a total of $636.25.
Did you pay it today?
No, we paid it the day that I went to court.
Oh.
Well, his mom came in and paid it. And they referred to me as a counselor. Counselor?
I hope at least she makes them pay her back.
He did. Well, that's a whole other
Lesson
issue.
learned. Anybody have questions on the payables?
Oh, did you see the email that went to the vendors about the tax? Remember Supervisor Moline questioned why the guys are paying tax, and Battalion Chief Kubaki emailed right away and said he'd make sure that when the guys and gals are doing their purchases, they know to tell them this is being reimbursed by the town and no tax so that should be corrected.
Well, his statement was they can't do that if unless we pay for it.
No.
I know, that's wrong. That's why I was gonna say to you, please put that on the staff agenda so we can talk to that
Yeah,
John.
no.
There's no question.
And I
about
gave them the
that.
name of the owners because I talked to the owners of the company, because they said they
They
said
should carry a certificate with them when they're going to buy that stuff.
and they both indicated all they have to say is
Yeah,
I'm.
here's our number.
Yep. Yeah. So.
If there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $39,397.88. Accounts payable number 2018-0802.
I'll second it.
I've got 3940.
You don't have your new sheet.
Oh, that's what I'm.
She deducted off that COTS invoice for
Okay.
the interest charges and the rest.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Manual checks, Madam Clerk?
Those are for healthcare savings accounts in the amount of $2,475.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of minutes, July 11th, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, those minutes were redone. They're in before you in your packet, and the highlighted areas are the corrections that Supervisor Bill Craig would like made to the minutes. All his requests were made, except for the ones where the planner's comments were adopted verbatim in the motion, so that was the only change I couldn't make.
I'll make a motion to accept the Plan Commission meeting minutes for Wednesday, July 11th, with changes as shown.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? July 19th. Minutes for town board.
I move we approve the minutes for July 19th as presented.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next meeting date will be August 16th, 2018 at 6 p.m. Public comments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? The record show there are no public comments. Convene into closed session. Motion to go into closed session. Consideration possible action. A motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin Stat 19.85 Pren 1 Pren E. Deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties invested in public funds or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. More specifically, negotiating for an intergovernmental contract with the Village of Big Bend for EMS and fire services and Village of McGonigal border agreement. Included in the closed session are the town board members and the town clerk. Motion requires a roll call vote. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Chairman Thomas Byrd,
Yes.
Supervisor Jeff Millies,
Yes.
Supervisor Ed Moline,
Yes.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to note for the record that you have a unanimous consent to go into closed session by your town board.
Closed session at 7:22.